Hello, everybody. My name is Tristan, and my pronouns are he, they. I'm a professional clinical counseling intern at the Mental Health Counseling Center here at San Diego City College. Today, we're doing one of our collaborative math anxiety workshop series, and this one's on Zoom health. Let's get started. So, what is Zoom fatigue? We've heard this around kind of as the virtual world has really emerged. Zoom fatigue occurs when we're feeling tired, worried, or anxious because of the number of classes, meetings, and overall video calls that we attend throughout the day and in your free time. We enjoy being social creatures. And Zoom isn't just our work or our school. We're also kind of using it right now really to interact with our friends and family too, and groups that we might be a part of. Some of the stressors that we really have that we might not think about is not having a private space to work. We're really navigating some discussions that we don't really want to be disturbed by our siblings, our parents, children, roommates, etc., whoever might live with you. As we've moved into this virtual world, it's been really difficult to really find a space um, like we used to have. For example, you used to have time in between classes when you would walk from one room maybe to the next or to a different building. Um, there's also the time in between when you were traveling to places, walking, riding a bus, or driving in a car. These are times where we had private space. We really don't anymore. So that's one of the kind of stressors. Also, the feeling of the need to multitask when you're in a Zoom meeting. You'll have, text come up on your computer or emails. Sometimes we have homework that we might not have finished yet for our next class. It can be really kind of hard to not multitask when it's so easy to kind of do that right now. That is a contributing factor to our fatigue, to our Zoom fatigue. Another one of those is staring at a screen for a long period of time. This can be so draining and it really impacts our focus and our concentration. The longer the conference, the more kind of mental energy that we're putting in um, than you would in a typical face to face meeting because we're staring at the screen, kind of hunched over, whether you're standing or sitting or laying down. It just gets uncomfortable, very much so. And this contributes to a lot of our Zoom fatigue that we're experiencing right now. So as we're kind of going through this, the question we want to pose to you all is, what do you notice on your Zoom heavy days? I know for myself, this person with the battery kind of drained really speaks to me. I go through, an 8-hour Zoom day, and at the end of it, I have just no energy, space, or really anything except to eat, shower, and go to bed. So my battery, I have noticed, definitely does get drained on my days where I am in Zoom meetings back to back. What are some of the ways that you all might manage some of your Zoom fatigue? And I want you to take a few minutes to just reflect on this and think about some of the ways you might. I know for myself, it's kind of like my little end of the day routine. I really enjoy closing my computer, leaving it in my room, and making sure that if I do want to engage in social media or something of that sort, I use my phone or another kind of outlet to really get into that kind of modality. What's important to me is to just carve out that time to really be with myself and be with whatever I'm kind of feeling that day, whether it is, I'm really stressed or anxious, or maybe it's that I had a really great day and I want to sit with that positivity. Um, some of what I do is taking a bath, uh, maybe going and getting my favorite ramen or my favorite kind of comfort foods. This could also be having a conversation with somebody important in my life, just to kind of vent about my day and just let go some of that steam. But I really want you to think about some of the ways you all might kind of manage your Zoom fatigue. We've come up with some tips for you all here. Let me move this real quick for increasing our Zoom health. We're a holistic being. We need a care for our medical, our physical, and also our mental health. And Zoom right now is really affecting us, the overall being of our soul. One of the things we could identify is really giving yourself a break between classes. I mentioned earlier that before, when we were on campus, we kind of had the freedom to go between buildings, to walk by someone's door and say hello, to ask your classmates, hey, what is this assignment? We don't have that right now. What we do have is, it's really important just to get up, move about, give yourself a mental break, get a new water bottle, get, refresh your drink, whatever it might be. It's important to keep your body moving. Like I said, we kind of get hunched over at this screen, and, we're looking at this for so long, the colors start to kind of merge, and it's just really hard. Getting up and kind of moving around, setting out some intentional time, even if it's 5 minutes, really can affect your mental health and your overall health. Another is the 20-20-20 rule. Research suggests that if you're looking at a screen that's 20 feet away, 20 seconds every 20 minutes, this can help really with your eye strain. We don't think about this very often, and we're always around screens, but it does affect our eyes. I'm sure some of you, after a really long day, just want to close your eyes and have some peace. This is what we're talking about. It's really important to get up, move about, close your eyes, give yourself that little break. What we really want to highlight is just taking time for yourself. Once you're done with classes for the day, make sure that you practice not just self-care, but you do something fun, that really brings you joy. Fun could be gaming. It could be, like I said, talking to a friend. This could be listening to your favorite song from your childhood that really brings up comfort. For me, that's Celine Dion. But whatever it might be, just try and really engage in some joy for yourself, and don't feel guilty for doing that. It's important, and it's part of our existence to care for us. A lot of times we do it for everybody else, and this is some intentional time to care for yourself. Another way is to just adjust how your Zoom call looks. You can shift the view of how your screen is set up. You could also change your background to make your kind of settings a little bit more comfortable. You could change the lighting in your space. So if you didn't like it one day, you could sit in the sun. Take your class kind of to a place that might be more comfortable for you, but make sure that you're just taking care of yourself. You could also create a boundary between your school and living space, even if it's in the same area. So really trying to think about ways that you can make or accommodate your school space and your living space so that you can be in those areas and not be connected to school constantly. Um, this could be ensuring that you kind of, uh, like I said, close your computer, use a different screen when you're looking at social media. Um, if you do have books that are on your computer, maybe taking that book outside of your actual living space. So walking to a park and doing some reading, but just finding a way to really change your setting that maybe could make you kind of have a little bit more peace as you're moving through your day. So there are some benefits. We all know, do we have our camera on or do we not? I think the benefit of it on is that it really helps with the ways that we as humans, we love to communicate. We do this through two ways: verbally and nonverbal. Our nonverbal is what is really kind of coming through when we have the camera on. You're able to see my body language, to see my excitement, my engagement, and really what's going on. If I were to take out my camera, you wouldn't get as much of that engagement, communicative way of my nonverbalness. Not that either way is wrong or right, it's just different. However, if it kind of does contribute to really the kind of the way and the facilitation of the space. The more that you put in, as we always say, the more that you do get out. This is true with your camera on as well. It also is a way to make some more connections with other folks. For some reason, we like to see people to connect with them. So knowing with your camera on, that is another way to kind of make those connections when it's really hard right now to do so. However, the benefits of your camera off are really around Zoom fatigue. This can minimize that constant need to like look at yourself in the box and judge like, oh, why is this hair out of place? Or why did I wear this shirt today? Um, kind of that criticalness that we often give to ourselves. Turning your camera off can just be a way of letting that go. It also creates less distractions for the folks who are also sharing a space for you, including your professor or the facilitator of the meeting that you're in. And because we have cameras in our homes right now, if you turn your camera off, it really kind of gives you more privacy of your space. So if, say you're in a shared space and at a living room table and you don't like that your housemate keeps going back and forth, you can turn that camera off to really help with some of the distractions that might be going on. Next, we're going to do our weekly activity. This week's is a centering and grounding technique. And just before we start this exercise, I want you just all to kind of get in a comfortable space. That can be laying in a bed, on the floor, sitting in a chair, or standing up. You could also walk around, but I just want you all to kind of identify a spot in your area where you feel safe and comfortable. And I want you to turn into your breath. I want you just to notice before we get started, kind of how you have been breathing. How is your body naturally taking care of itself? And know that as we go through any of these activities, the best thing about it is that you can all take this home. The moment where you, or I guess you might be home already, but you can take this with you outside of your day. Thinking about when you feel like, oh, I'm a little anxious about this test coming up or this homework, just take a couple of minutes and just connect back to your breath. So hopefully you've all kind of gotten to a spot that feels good and feels safe for you. And we're going to go ahead and begin our exercise. I want you to notice your body and where it makes contact with the ground and or the furniture around you. I want you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable and take 3 deep breaths all the way down into your belly. So really going deeper than just your chest breathing. Feel the air infiltrating and inflating your chest as it enters your body through your nose. I like to think of this as energy coming up my body with my inhale, and as I exhale, just releasing down the back, grounding to the earth and really letting go of that tension that I hold in my shoulders. I want you to notice the sensations that you feel in your belly as you breathe deeply. For some of you, this might be a totally new feeling. Sit with it, enjoy it. As you're breathing, I want you to start imagining that there's a connector at the base of your tailbone. Imagine the width and color of this connector, and then I want you to attach a cord to it. The cord can also be any color, width, or thickness. The important thing is there's no right or wrong here. See the cord drop down to the floor beneath you. Magically and instantly, this penetrates the crust of the earth, connecting to the core. When your grounding cord is connected to the earth's core, celebrate the fact that you're now grounded. People often report feeling centered, energized, and even radically alive when this experience happens for them. Now that you are grounded, I want you to notice a yellow sun hovering around your forehead, where it meets the bridge of your nose. Often this is referred to as the third eye. I want you to invite this special yellow sun to collect all of your energy that may have been scattered about as you've made your way through your work week. And I want you to silently say to yourself, yellow sun of mine, please collect any and all of my energy that may have been scattered about. Please purify it, recharge it, and return it to me. And when you're ready, allow your cleansed energy to shower down upon you like a raindrop of yellow light. See the yellow light envelop you and fill the space around you within the drop. Enjoy this special space And when you're ready, I want you to take the deepest breath you've taken all week and then let it go. And as you let that breath go, I want you to slowly open your eyes if they were closed. And know that you all can take this grounding and centering technique with you throughout your day and throughout your lives and share it with others as it may bring some calm and peace to them as well. And we're going to wrap up today with some of the resources that are available to you all. Again, if you ever need help outside of our services, the Access Crisis phone and text line is open 24/7. It's free and confidential. And there's bilingual services offered here. The folks are really nice and really gentle, and please know that you can go to them with any kind of outside of our hours of operation. You can go to them for any kind of emergency help. We also would like to say that if you are experiencing a medical or mental health emergency, that you call 911 and get to your nearest emergency room. You can also reach out to our services at the Student Health Center. You can consult a nurse at the number listed. The easiest way right now to reach us is by email. We check that often and most frequently. You can also contact us through Instagram and Facebook. And we so much appreciate you all. Take care of yourselves and let us know how these recordings are going and if you're enjoying them, and kind of give us some feedback about what you're enjoying. Take care.